Hey, hello, welcome. It is weekly upload number 2.
Are you retarded?
I love making videos because it allows me to share the absolute shitstorm that is in my brain. And after making a bunch of videos on the same game, the creative neurons slow down a bit. So, just like any other respectable addict, I want them back. Welcome to a game commonly referred to as a drug, or I started playing at 10 a.m. Then how the fuck is it 4 a.m.? Do you enjoy role-playing as a Chinese child, but actually have the option to progress or simulate how machines are slowly replacing humans? Welcome to Factorio. I've been invested in Factorio for quite some time, so that I started planning my factory in my sleep. Factorio is a game about building a factory where you build so much you don't know what to do with that anymore. According to the local experts in this universe, the goal is launching a rocket. A rocket where? To the space. Think faster. Why launch a rocket? I have no idea, but this will do for now. Essentially, you start off playing the same way you played Minecraft back in your prime. You mine stuff to build more stuff to mine more stuff, but better. Except at some point, you've built this AFK Bitcoin farm that's gonna send your electricity bill through the roof. To begin, we have an option of completing a tutorial. And trust me, you'll need it. Because questions like, how do I shoot, will make you rethink your life choices. And you won't waste your time figuring out the most basic things. Once you've done the tutorial, you can start the actual game, where you, or this guy, the engineer, wake up from a crashing spaceship. How and why you crashed, I don't know. But this is an important lesson. Our engineer crashed because he was inexperienced at drinking and driving, and that's why you should do it more. In the midst of this chaos, you mine and start your factory. And if you're a lazy person like I am, this is going to be a painful experience because you'll have to refuel and micromanage your factory until you unlock automation. In other words, you'll have to manually refuel every furnace, mining drill, and inserter with coal. Yuck. However, this slow start is actually pretty good for a new dumb player like me, since it gives you time to figure stuff out and get used to the game. So, after you unlock automation, you can use nearby H2O source to create electricity and swarm your factory with electric poles. Once you get through these obstacles, you're most likely going to be gaslighted into thinking that the game is fairly easy, but don't get fooled. As your factory grows, you'll need more resources to extract, more machines to build, and more brain cells to manage whatever madness you created. Because you need to plan your conveyor belts in a way so that you can use them efficiently to build more complex items using factories. Consequently, a new player like me won't be able to plan anything. So, if you design your factory like the maniac you are, you might as well end it like you should have a long time ago. You could borrow the design from YouTubers and get a good start. That is not cheating. We don't want to hear these words in our factory. We call it a collaborative effort. Or you could just experience the game on your own, figuring stuff out as your factory grows. If you do that, you will suffer a lot, but you will learn from your mistakes. Probably, most likely. Didn't make enough furnaces, so your factory turned into a mess? Next time, you will consider this possibility. Me personally, I had to pull out 200 IQ moves to fix that mistake, and it is still not working as intended. It wasn't until a few hours into a game that I realized that I could put 2 different items on 2 different sides of belt to save space, so my factory turned into a mess that shouldn't have happened. I would consider that possibility. On top of that, I went a few hours playing completely ignoring capitalist inventions such as low power indicator and the almost empty red bar under something called electricity. So, when my mining drills slowed to a crawl and my inserters stopped grabbing items off of belt, I realized that something was wrong. Swift adjustments were made. Did it work? No. Even after watching a tutorial, I messed up because I put 2 boilers for 1 steam engine and not 2 steam engines for 1 boiler. How could I mess this up? I don't know, and that makes me wonder, how am I still surviving in university? On that note, your progression, just like in real life, is determined by research. At first, it might look scary, but don't worry, it's a lot worse than that. To research, you need a lab, and just like every other building, it needs something to start working. In this case, electricity and liquid courage. Why? Because the only way to research in Factorio is under the influence. At first, it is relatively easy, as you only need the red liquid. But as you progress, you will want to research crazier and crazier stuff, and your labs will demand stronger liquids. It will be a pain in the ass to produce, but well worth it, because you could increase the efficiency of your factory, as well as get better armor, get a car, and so on. As your factory grows, so does your pollution. And the nature is not happy. Specifically, local wildlife is not happy. Biters are creatures that live on the planet you crashed on. When your pollution reaches them, they will attack you. However, as in every game, you have the option for a peaceful resolution. And the more research you've done, the more options you have. If your diplomatic actions are too slow, the biters will evolve. They will grow and become stronger. Hit your enemy while it's weak, or you're the one who's gonna be on your knees. Once you're hell of a factory and you somehow survive long enough, you unlock the ability to mine oil. However, just like in real life, you'll need to find it first by using scanners. Once you found it, chances are it's crawling with biters, so you need to prepare a lot. Oil unlocks a lot of important stuff. For example, you'll need it to continue your research and craft more items such as explosives. It could take a lot of space and a lot of planning, so don't underestimate how large oil plant can become. In fact, triple the estimated space just in case your factory grows too much. I somehow managed to start an oil factory and create a pipe system that doesn't block me too much. I started to create sulfur and plastic bars to continue researching, but there was one big question. How the hell do I transport all of this back to my factory? Do I create this huge belt to transfer resources? Trains are important. Trains are confusing. At first, I said, hey, this stuff is pretty easy. Just build railroads and train stops. It is not easy because I underestimated the complexity of a train system that I built. When I had one train, things went okay, but then I quickly realized that I would need more trains to sustain my factory. And that is really when shit hit the fan, because I spent hours figuring out why the hell can't my trains find the correct path. I watched dozen YouTube videos on the train signals. I spent more time figuring this stuff out than preparing for a quiz that I had this week. And guess what? I still couldn't get my train signals to work. They were blinking, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is not good. After some trial and error, I almost got everything working. What was the problem? The train that was supposed to pick up and transport resources to the main factory couldn't leave. I spent yet another few hours trying to fix it until I realized that my railway wasn't connected. How did I feel? Let's move on, shall we? Turns out, resources can run out in this game. So the resources that you started with will be gone. It is just a matter of time. And I knew this was going to happen because some of my mining drills had no resources to gather. It felt like this very slow ticking time bomb. It is slowly ticking, and the more you procrastinate, the more dangerous it will become. In fact, I had to start making plans to conquer new coal spots because I was almost out. And if I let my factory run out of coal, that means I have to go back to primitive ways of hitting coal with my pickaxe, and that can never happen. And unfortunately, this is my longest run that I have. Life happens, you know. As you noticed at the beginning of the video, I haven't uploaded for quite a while because I truly needed a small break, and also university started. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing and help me reach the next goal, 1k subs. Alright, get out of here.